So this building will be constructed using people who had never, ever worked with this product before. The idea that this is how we bring in affordable housing. We teach people how to do this that does not have a background in construction. And this is just another way that we'll be able to cut costs in terms of helping people build their own homes. So our program is one of which we will bring you into our We Build program, and we teach you how to actually build your own home. You can do any phase of it you want. The first part in terms of stacking the blocks is just really, really simple. You can primarily do the majority of it yourself. You will need a licensed contractor. You will need licensed electricians, plumbers, different people like that. But all the framework you can pretty much do yourself. So we cut down a lot of costs just by teaching people how they can put their hands on these blocks, stack the blocks. It's a really, really, really simple process. I mean, I can't really make it much simpler than that. The process goes up pretty fast. With 4 or 5 people, you can pretty much construct all your outside walls within, let's say, about 2 to 3 days, which is pretty quick in terms of building a home. So if you're building a, say, 1,500 square foot home, literally 5 people who had never touched a block before can frame up the entire structure of that particular home.
It's time once again for another edition of Talk to Me. And now, here's Emmy himself, 8-time Emmy Award-winning journalist, Maynard Eaton.
Hello, my friends, and welcome to this week's edition of Talk to Me, a weekly conversation with political influencers, business influencers, cultural influencers. In our continuing conversation about National Black Business Month, our guest this week is Warren Crawley, the president and owner of Greenwood Global. Warren, thanks for joining us. How are you?
I'm good, Maynard. How are you, sir? And thanks for having me here.
Warren, you're in the affordable housing business. Some say that sounds like a misnomer. Are homes affordable nowadays with prices on the rise?
Yeah, homes are definitely not affordable. The average person, I mean, it's out of reach, way out of bounds. So yeah, price.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
How are you doing this then? I mean, is it that seems like a tough road to hoe, building affordable housing, particularly in these economic times?
Well, as you know, Maynard, a problem is nothing more than something that's always in search for a solution. That being said, sometimes you got to think outside of the box. We can't do things the traditional way that we once did. Bank loans are difficult. The cost of building a home is way out of reach for the majority of people nowadays. So in that process, where we are trying to make it affordable is through opening a manufacturing plant that will manufacture building materials. So we're going in this green space, and going into green space is what I'm really trying to get people to understand that green jobs, green technology are really the way to go, and it can and will make housing affordable once people understand better how it works.
Your materials are brand new, if I'm not mistaken. You have a particular sort of brick or something you use to build your homes that's totally new from times I've seen you before.
Well, sort of, it's not really new. It's old technology. It's been around for decades. It's just more or less new to the South, but it's old technology. It's a lot better product than your traditional stick frame.
And that's what makes your houses at least within the range of those who may not have the big pay income?
Well, what makes our product so much more affordable is our program. Our building cost is very similar to stick frame, but the difference is that we can teach and train people in this arena. So we're training a whole new generation of construction workers. We're people that don't have homes or in the process with this eviction moratorium about to be lifted, when all sorts of other travesties happen. This is a program that we can bring people into. Now, one of the biggest things that I've really, really honed in on is trying to get the general public to understand that there's a lot of things that we can do collectively to help people, help our fellow man. We just got to go back to basics, and that's once what it was. I always say to take a village, right? So if a village chips in when your fellow brother is down, we can all make a difference. And by using the resources that we have available, which are the green building materials, styrofoam is a waste product. So by us being able to manufacture a waste product, we can take that waste product, get the general public to understand more about how recycling and green building materials work. Then, we can provide opportunities to help our fellow brother man without having to figure out how to reinvent the wheel. And when I say figure out how to reinvent the wheel, there's always an opportunity to take what we have and put a little bit here and a little bit there. And then if everybody does that, then we don't have to worry about, depending on the banks, depending on the institution. It's all about everybody working together. So, without getting too deep into details, it's really a very simple concept. And, we strongly believe in it. We strongly believe that it'll work. I like to look at our program as a Habitat for Humanity on steroids. But yeah, it really works.
Is it being replicated elsewhere around the country, or are you kind of at the forefront of this sort of movement?
Yeah, currently we're in the forefront of it. And again, the product itself is something that is needed right now because the price of lumber is just skyrocketing. It's going through the roof. Right. The labor force is more or less, going off the map. So with our particular product, this program can be replicated across the country. And the way that we're trying to do it is we're trying to take an aggressive standpoint and work with people that are currently going through any type of financial disaster. And we're trying to get other people just to adopt the notion that, if they purchase one of our building materials to help a family, then, if everybody does that. So bottom line is that we have a building material. It'll take, let's say, 500 blocks to build a house for an average family. Right. If we had 300 people or 200 people reach out and purchase a block to help a family build a house, then we can get that family into a house and then put them into a mortgage where they can be self-sustained. And then at the same time, we can help other families in that same process just by your neighbor, your friend, your cousin, your relative, your uncle, helping a family with a handful of dollars out of their pocket, just purchase some materials. They can see these houses going up in real time. So it's a program that we feel very strongly about. We feel that it will work, but we have to get people involved. We don't have to sit back and rely on bank institutions or government. These are things that we can literally do ourselves. That's why I say it's a problem that already has a solution to it. It's sitting right here looking at us. So once we implement the program, then by all means we can start making that necessary change and making houses affordable for everybody.
Warren, aren't you faced with almost a coming disaster with all this evictions moratorium being over? Seems like you're going to be flooded with people needing homes. Yeah,
and that's the big thing. People don't see it. A lot of folks don't want to. They don't want to see it, but it's coming. It's with COVID. I'm getting calls every single day.
Wow.
From families that has already been struck by whatever type of financial disaster. I got a text just this morning, saying, Mr. Crawley, we're in dire need. We need help. And, me by myself can't do it alone. That's why we're reaching out to the general public and asking people, let's get past this donating water. Let's get past, let's help folks build houses. We manufacture building materials. Right now, we're sitting on 2 acres of raw materials to build this manufacturing plant so we can start producing this product right here in Georgia. Right now it's being produced out of Arizona. So once we start producing it here in Georgia, we're calling on builders, we're calling on, investors, we're calling on everybody to take the challenge with us to help people build houses and get into affordable situations.
Is bank loans a problem?
Bank loans are a problem, and that goes back to our program. So our program work is such is we will raise through the general public by purchasing a block.
Right.
The biggest part of, let's say 30% of the bill, and if the owners, the potential homeowners, which mean that the people that we're trying to get into affordable housing, pitch in and do their part, they help build because we teach them how to build at the same time. So if they jump in, then we may be able to possibly get that down to 50%. So if we get it down to 50% of the value of the home, any bank will loan them money, and it's something that they can afford long term. So they won't be tied into a 30-year mortgage. They'll be tied into a small mortgage, but we help them get into that house, and it's a more sustainable situation. And we also train them. We train them in various other areas, as it relates to green jobs. We have a complete program that people will embrace once they know more about it.
This is a National Black Business Month, as you know. What is the state of Black business as you see it?
It's still tough. It's still tough. It's been tough for a long time. It's always tough. It's even more so now because it's even though there's programs out there, there's government money out there, but with the pandemic going on, that makes it twice as hard for Black businesses to do the same thing that they could do prior to the pandemic. So it's not easy by no stretch.
Is it even tougher for small Black entrepreneurs like yourself? I mean, we hear about the success stories of big businesses. What about not mom and pop, but smaller enterprises, smaller entrepreneurs? Is it the financial crunch for guys like yourself as well?
Well, I tell you, it's a financial crunch for a lot of reasons. Part of that is because the labor force, it's just not there. Everyone is having issues with labor right now. So even if there's monies that small businesses can get a hold of, they can't. It's really hard. It's really hard for them to make it because nobody's working. I mean, for a lot of different reasons. Pandemic is just stopping a lot of things. I mean, this COVID is really, really putting a squeeze on a lot of folks. Even if you come to work, if somebody's getting a vaccine, you don't know when somebody's going to get sick. So it's just tough. I mean, every small business I talk to right now are really, really having some real hard times because they can't find anybody to work. So, our goal is to ramp this thing up and really bring people in and teach them and train them in this area of green construction.
But also amongst your challenges is finance as well, I'm sure. Money's a problem, but also you said finding workers. You have a host of issues, host of challenges I'm sure you're confronting and dealing with every day, huh?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The financing part is definitely, that's the really tough part. Again, like I said, there are funding programs out there, but it's short term. And having these short-term programs it doesn't take you a very long way. And being a small business, you're already struggling. So, with everything else compiled on top of that, it just doesn't make it doesn't get any easier.
Warren, are Black folks helping Black business, or we're going our own? Are we helping each other, you think?
I was hoping you wouldn't ask me a question like that. Honestly, no.
We're not, huh?
No. It's unfortunate, but I mean, I haven't seen it. I wish I could report and say yes, but I just and partly I think it's probably because they're hurting too. So if you're hurting and I'm hurting, it's kind of hard for somebody to step up and say, look, I want to help you do something. It's just not the way it was. Once upon a time you could probably go to a big, large Black company and they say, we'll help you. But everybody's struggling trying to figure out how they can get the labor force back, how they can dodge this COVID. It's just so many factors in that. So I don't want to put the blame on black people not helping black people. There's a lot of factors involved in that, and unfortunately, right now we're just in a tough time.
How tough is it for you, sir? I was speaking. I know you work hard every day. I've known you for a while, but has it gotten tougher for you too?
It's pretty tough. I mean, it is, but at the same time, I'm one of these kind of guys that I don't let much stop me, if anything at all. You know, I don't mind rolling my sleeves up. I don't mind getting out, you know, going to work. You know, we just started a job here recently, deconstructing a home. You know, we take this house apart, stick by stick, brick by brick, and reuse every single bit of it. So will I be out there working? Absolutely. You know, because I want to make sure things are I want to motivate people. I want people to understand that, you know, this is way big. We can work our way out of these problems, but we got to work together and we got to work hard to get it done. So to answer your question, yeah, it's tough, but it's not tough to the point where I don't see the end. You know, I see the end, and I see things. I see things unfolding in ways that it will benefit a lot of folks, and I want to be that example to help people show people that things can be done, and no matter what the time, how tough the times are.
Well, finally, aren't many folks, middle income, lower income folks, being pushed out of the major cities because of the housing prices? I mean, it seems like housing is the number one issue for many folks surviving or staying in the city, Atlanta being one of them.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. That is a major problem. That's why I continue to say that it is a must that we figure out a way that collectively we can all work together to help solve these problems. We can't wait on government. We can't wait. You know, the resources are there, even if it's not a dollar amount, but you can take. I give you a real quick example.
Good.
You know, every day we pass by, you know, something going on. You might go down the street and you'll see a company taking down an old fence, and they got a dumpster out there. They're gonna put it in a dumpster and send it somewhere. Well, you can go to Home Depot right now. This is not this. You can verify this. You can go to Home Depot right now. They sell reclaimed recycled wood. You can go buy a small box of recycled wood for like $30, $35. It covers about 6 square feet. It's all reclaimed wood. So you can ride down the street and see somebody throwing stuff in a dumpster away, go grab that wood, cut the dog ear off of it, and somebody might pay you $400 or $500 to do a accent wall because it looks very nostalgic. It looks, you know, and people love that kind of stuff. I mean, so there's so many ways, and this is what I'm really trying to push, is getting people to understand is that we got to stop wasting our resources. Use what we got and turn that into dollars, as opposed to, you know, what we've always done is just we go buy it, build it, it's done. So not only our blocks, but there's just so many other ways that we can change this paradigm.
Or finally, Warren, you kind of sound like a home building artist or curator. I mean, you don't just build houses; you kind of create them, do you not?
Pretty much, yeah, I do. I mean, I get a thrill out of that kind of stuff. You know, I love building stuff, and you know, if I could make something out of nothing, then yeah, I'm all in. I love it.
Warren Crawley, the president of Greenwood Global. Thank you for what you're doing, how you're helping, and thank you for joining us on this week's edition of Talk to Me. Warren
Thank you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
See you next week, folks.
We're located in the city of Stonecrest, and again, we're working with the city of Stonecrest to actually, you know, bring in this process. And you know, at some point, we will be opening up that community center at Raheem's store, which people can come in and sign up. You know, really learn more about what it is that we're doing. We talk a lot about jobs because this will bring in a tremendous amount of jobs. So they can come in, they can make an appointment, and go through our website, the We Build Stronger website, webuildstronger.com. Go to the website and sign up, make an appointment to come in and sit down with us, and we will counsel them, talk to them about whether they're interested in becoming a homeowner, whether they're interested in jobs, anything related to construction. That's what we're focused on, and teaching people and learning how they can be a part of this green movement.